are there other examples, Graham, around the world of things that were built that probably required still not understood technology to be constructed?
Yes, there are all over the world. I mean, of course, the famous Trilithion in Baalbek in the Lebanon, where we find really, I mean, just horrendously huge blocks of stone. You're looking at blocks that weigh more than 1,000 tons there. Which are placed into position in the lower walls of a temple. Now, the upper part of the temple was built by the Romans, no doubt about that, but it seems that they built their temple on a foundation that was laid down long previously by a civilization that has passed beyond memory. And you find this same phenomenon all over the world, up there in the Andes, in Peru, and Bolivia. You find work done by the Incas, founded on top of gigantic megalithic structures, which there is no evidence whatsoever that the Incas built. It's just an assumption that this was the work of the Incas. The later work, yes, it was their work, but the earlier work, these gigantic blocks of stone, it's only an assumption that the Incas did that. So it seems to me, all over the world, you find gigantic megalithic structures in the Pacific too. There's another Trilithion, looks like one of the classic Stonehenge structures on the island of Tonga in the middle of the Pacific. Beats me how they moved those huge blocks of stone, much bigger than Stonehenge. You find this all around the world. It is a layer of mystery which our scientists and historians persist in ignoring and refusing to address, because I suppose the notion of some forgotten civilization that may have been capable of these things is just too hard to swallow for mainstream history.
Well, another mystery, Graham, is there was not the kind of communication then that there is now. In fact, there really wasn't any at all to these various parts of the world. So how did this technology, whatever in the hell it was, proliferate?
Well, see, I've always felt that there probably was more communication, and I'm really speaking in deep prehistoric times here, rather than simply in the historical period. Although I do think that even in the historical period of the last 5,000 years, people were traveling the globe much more widely than they're given credit for. But I do think that ideas have circulated around the world, sometimes very, very quickly, and I do think that there was an ancient seafaring culture which may have carried these ideas around.